I'm taking over the knitting channel this week. Stay tuned for awesomeness.
Hi everybody, welcome back to my knitting channel. Today is episode 98, which I still don't have a topic for, so I'm sure I'll pick one depending on what rabbit hole I jump down by the end of this episode. There's lots of stuff happening here behind the scenes right now. Like there's something that I can't tell you that's happening, and well, I can't tell you yet. And then I'm trying to get my episodes fleshed out for the rest of the year, and so I was just going over doing that. So this is the last unnamed. Please. This is the last one that is not designated to be anything. I've filled up all the rest of them, and there just was nothing to put here with the time that it is, and nothing going on anywhere. So, I mean, the only thing that's going on is the Westknits Mystery Knit Along, which I'm going to hold on my talk of that to the very end. But it's all I've been working on all week, so I don't have much in the way of whips. My Burdock Shawl, I have not even touched. I have not touched it because this clue 1 has taken up all my time and I'm still not finished, and it's Wednesday, so the new clue comes out in the morning, so tomorrow morning, which is yesterday. I'm hearing screaming, which is why I'm distracted. Which means it's coming from that house. Anyway. Also hear a dog barking, which I think is that way. Anyway. What was I talking about? So the Burdock Shawl has not been touched, and I kind of figured this was going to happen once the MKAL started, was that everything else was going to take a back seat, and that's fine. I'm not at all bothered by it. If I wasn't expecting clue. Talk about that later. If I had time, I would have worked on it, and that's what I was expecting to do. But this first one was kind of a lot to handle. So, I'll put that here. So I'm not even going to show you the burdock because it's huge, and I have made no progress. I haven't even touched it. The Cash Aran double layer hat. Okay, remember I was like, I'm going to work this more to see if it fits. I need to just trust myself that when I blocked this, when it was a real hat, like it was a fully made hat, and I blocked it, and then I decided what stitches, how many stitch count to do, because I frogged the whole thing and went back and added 8 more. I had an extra round of increases to make it 96 stitches from 88, which was dumb, because let me tell you why that was dumb. Don't make decisions, big decisions that have to do with math at like 2 o'clock in the morning when your brain is not the sharpest, okay? Because here's what I did. I was looking through my project page because I was like, I've made hats, and most of my hats have 88 stitches. So I went back and looked at some of the hats, and one of the hats was a ribbed hat. 88 stitches, wool with the ribbing, think it was a 1x1 ribbing. It was perfectly stretchy enough to be a hat. 88 stitches on, I think, 3.5 needles. I know I had 2 others that were color work that I were 3.5 needles, 3.5 millimeter, used with red heart. It was color work. I made them for, I was just trying out, is it Fair Isle? Where you carry it and you work it so you're working both colors, like whichever, it's a graph, right? So it's either your main color or your contrasting color. So you used both colors long and then you cut your floats, whatever that one is. I did 3 hats like that with red heart, and a 3.5, and they fit me fine. One was tighter than the other, so it had more things, so I went up to 90 stitches. I needed 90 stitches for the graph. That's what happened. I needed 90 stitches for the graph. So I went up to 90 stitches, so 88 and 90. Both of those fit me differently, weirdly enough, which is why if you're doing that ferrule, you need to swatch, because it is wildly, really messes with your gauge, which is why I don't do it, which is why now since I've discovered mosaic knitting, that's what I want to do. So since those were worsted weight 3.5 needles, I'm using a 4.5 for the Cash Aran, which is only 218 yards instead of 220 or no, it isn't. Is it? 218 to 220? It's literally 2 yards less. My point is there is not a lot of difference between this Cash Aran and regular worsted. The yardage is like the same. So is it 213 maybe? I don't remember. I don't have it doesn't have a tag because it's bare yarn that I dyed. And I don't recall off the top of my head what it is, and I didn't look up the thing. So my point was, at 2 o'clock in the morning, I thought I was a genius and was like, oh, well, if I went from 3.5 needles to 4.5 needles, then I should go up 8 stitches, which is the exact opposite of what I meant. I meant since I used 3.5 needles, and that was fine with 88 stitches, that making the needles bigger, therein making the stitches bigger, 88 would be just fine. So I should have relied on myself and trusted. So I ripped back the hat, added another round of increases, and now I'm like, well, shit. Do I go back to 88 or do I just go with the 96? Like, our 8 stitches really good? That's going to be like an inch, right? Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So here's 8 stitches. This many. 8 stitches. I mean, the hat's going to be folded over. It's going to have a fold over brim. The whole thing's doubled. So I'm like, my worry is it's going to be too big like it was before with 120 something stitches. I don't know why that's ridiculous. Sometimes my brain just does not get math, especially if it's in a circle. If it is a circle, my brain forgets what math is. And it's like, none of this makes sense. And I'm like, it's just a circle. I'm not good with shapes, with like a 3-dimensional shape. I'm not good that way. If you can math it out and it's flat and I go, okay. So I'm trying to figure out, because I know my head is 21 inches around, right? So how big does the flat circle have to be? You know what I mean? To get the circumference? What is this called? Geometry. very, very bad at geometry. Everything else makes sense, but the second you put shapes in it, I'm lost. Oh my God. He's been packing his truck all day, and we're like, is he leaving? We don't know. So, I don't even know what to do with this right now. Like, I have no idea what to do with this right now. I can't believe I frogged the whole thing. It's not a big deal. I might just go with the 96 and be like, well, the 88 felt too small, so the 96, but then what if the 96 is... I think I'm gonna... I feel like I should have done a gauge swatch when I blocked it and everything. I'm worried it's gonna be too big. But I'd rather it be too big than too small, so I might just go with the 96 and just forget about it. I don't think I started this yet. No, I have not. I'm about to start the full-length DK knit top out of this Uru Pima cotton. This is Uru Cotton Basic in Stardust. It is a blue... It's a blue. It's not purple. It's actually blue. It's a purpley blue, but it's not this purple. It's blue. I was going to cast this on, but I have not yet because all I've been doing is that shawl. And the reason is, oh my God, did I not put it in here? Hang on. Because what I finished the other day was the crop top in the same yarn, but in the pavement colorway. So this is done and blocked. I have not tried it on, but it will fit. It's just like the blue one that I made. So I finished this actually before, when I wasn't doing the knit along 24/7, when I was actually, doing this at night. And I have to say, I did not really care for working with this yarn in the stockinette, but as soon as I got in the round and was doing the ribbing, it was much easier to do. It wasn't so hard on my hands. And it did turn out very soft. I'm very excited for this. So I decided I'm going to do the full-length ones at night, as the knit along allows. That's it. That's all I have. Oh, my earrings are from Rose and Glow. I showed you these the other episode. I'll have her linked below in case you absolutely love these and want some for yourself. I'm not wearing anything knit because it's cold, and this room is not heated. It has glass doors. So it's not much warmer than what it is outside most of the time. Today it's quite cold. And I didn't put the heater on, so, because it's not, the kitten and the dog are laying next to each other and they never do this. So I'm going to take a picture. They're laying right next to each other. Okay, the kitten likes to play with Lola. Lola hates the cats because, like, Tormund would jump on top of her and somersault with her, like force her into a somersault. He would grab her and roll with her. She does not like him. He wasn't trying to hurt her. He's very, very playful, which is why we got this cat. And this Tormund is sleeping in my bed right now. And I try to get him to come in here, and he's like, no, I'm sleeping in your bed. So I'm like, okay. So the kitty's out here, and our animals are so sociable and nice, and like they all get along. And it's poor Lola that she's the only dog here for the kitty to, cuddle up next to it. She's just gonna ignore. Bree has what do you call it? Groomed Lola, like groomed her, and Lola hates it. I think all of our animals think that Lola is a baby because she's the smallest. So they think she's a baby. So I think that's why Tormund plays with her, because he plays with all the kittens. So if he thinks she's a baby kitten and she wants to play with him, but she doesn't want to, and then the other dogs like let Lola do whatever she wants. Now he's taking his clothes out of the car and bringing them inside. I swear to God, these two have fights out there all the time, and he's always putting his clothes in the car, and then a couple hours later he comes out and brings his clothes back in the house. Like, they're so dramatic, it's like ridiculous. I don't know how you can live that way. Like, it has to be exhausting, and they're always screaming at each other, which is like mortifying to me. Like, I would never go out with my husband on our front lawn and scream at him. Like, this is a really quiet neighborhood too, so like everyone can hear them all the time. Like, I think they like the attention. Like, I think it's some weird thing. Can't wait to move away. You guys are so cool that some of you left me some comments. I especially appreciated the ones about I had actually talked about this in one of my episodes, but then I cut it. I think I was talking about the I'm switching to TV now. The remake of Wednesday that's coming to Netflix, I believe, because the cast Luis Guzman, who I love. I don't know anyone that doesn't love him. He does. Are you okay? He plays characters that everybody loves, so I don't know why there was so much so much freaking out over that casting. I absolutely love him. I think he's going to be a great Gomez. I think he's going to do fantastic. Is it Catherine Zeta-Jones that's going to be more Patricia? See, I don't even know who's Wednesday. I wouldn't know who it was. There's going to be too young. I'm not going to know who they are. Like the original, not the original, obviously, because that was before I was born, I think. That was like black and white TV. So for me, the Addams Family is Raul Julia, Angelica Houston, and what's her name? Christina Ricci. Hello. Christina Ricci and I are like the same age, so I was obsessed with Wednesday Addams. Oh my God. Obsessed. I loved her. Oh my God. So again, this one's not for me. I already had mine and I loved it. And it was just on one of the channels I was watching the other day. I loved Angelica Houston too. Oh my God, I love her. Anyway, still excited to watch it though. I'm very excited because they did another one a couple years ago, I think. It was animated, and I don't do animated stuff really. I'm not into animated stuff. Since I was like 12 years old, I don't like animated stuff anymore. Not my favorite. I'll watch it if it's like, I'll watch Sleeping Beauty to watch the Maleficent parts, but I'm wholly uninterested in any type of animated thing. So I'm trying to think what else is going on this Halloween season. Did you get an advent? Did you get a Halloween advent? Who'd you get it from? I did not. Because the one I got last year did not thrill me, and I wasn't sure who to go through. And last year, like I said, I did get Haute Knit Yarns Haunted Studio, and I liked that. So that's why I got her one this year. Also, because she had said she wasn't sure she was going to do it. I actually asked her on one of her Instagrams. I was asking if she was, because she had some Halloweens out. I love her because she puts her stuff out early enough that you can buy it and use it up before whatever holiday. Everyone else does it too late, and you're like, well, by the time your pre-orders are done and I get it, I'm not going to have time to make anything. So I like that she's actually she's a good planner, I think. And like I said before, she knows Halloween colors. Like, I'm not talking about moody colors or witchy or goth colors, like actual commercial Halloween colors. She knows how they work together, and I think she's very talented when it comes to those. And I don't see a lot of people putting out like the commercial Halloweeny colors, you know, orange, lime green, and purple, stuff like that. I have seen some people get the Trilogy Yarns one, and I don't know if they didn't do it this year or if I couldn't find anything about it. So I don't know, like maybe when they did theirs. But I was looking for everybody that was doing them, and I just couldn't find any that looked like. I think I was too afraid for the really expensive one I bought last year that I was not impressed with. And I was like, no, I can't believe I paid all that for this. So I think I didn't want to get burned again. So I did, what I get? I got stuff from Whimsy Stitches, because he did the Hocus Pocus collection. And I just, I don't think anyone was really thrilling me this year. I didn't feel like, maybe I'm not into it this year. I don't know. Did you get stuff that you really like for Halloween this year? Are you getting an advent from somebody that you really like? I was also looking at the patterns, and the only one I was really wanting to do was the Heather and Hops Freddy, Drop Dead Freddy. That's not even out yet. I just saw a pattern that I saved, and I was like, what? It is hold on. I just saw it today. Call for Testers, handmade by Forence, who I am not familiar with. But this cute sweater that is a tie over, I think that's super cute. I think I would wear that. That would look super cute over my tops. And I think the tie might help me with my pain, where it could be looser on. I mean, I don't think I do a tie. I think I do some sort of latch. But that's just going to testers, which means who knows when it's going to come out. So I just saw that, and I was like, oh, looking forward to that. So I'm trying to think if there's any Halloween-y designs I was looking forward to. Just the Freddy, Drop Dead Freddy, because it's mohair, and I don't think I do the stripes. I don't know, though, because I think I have to see it on more people to decide if I want to do it or not. Because I don't do stripes. I wouldn't do it striped. And I gotta take a look at how it actually looks on people. I don't know. And then like some of the detail, like the drop stitch detail, I don't know. I feel like that part of, like, I'm always for more like goth designs. I mean, yes, we should have as many as there can be, obviously, but I think I was never really into that distressed look. I was always more to the full skirts, corsets, that type of goth dressing. Victorian goth is what we referred to it. I don't know if it has an actual name, because there's like a million different, what do you call it? Sub something. There's more. There's more in there. So that was how I liked the distressed look. Like your clothes are falling apart. I wasn't really into that stuff. but we could always use more. We could always use more designs, more designers, more dyers. Could always use more. Bring that, we have room for everybody. But I'm still more in that more classic, elegant, less in the casual loungewear-ness. I mean, I love loungewear, but I would like it to not look like loungewear. I can lounge in a ball gown. It's just fine. Just saying. So I like the sweater. I'm not sure it's something I would need in my wardrobe. I'm not sure I would get a lot of wear out of it. But I like it, and I'm excited to see that come out. And like the James Watts, that not the Look at My Holes, the other one, I can't remember the name of it, it looks like fishnet almost, and it looks gorgeous. I'm thinking of that one, because that one I could wear like over my tops, and I'm deciding if I want to give that one a try or not. I should say what it is, shouldn't I? Yeah, that's the one. Pure mesh pullover. It's lace. He's so my hero. I wish I could have that. Oh, that looks gorgeous. It looks good on like everybody. All these different bodies. I just love it. It's a black one. This is how it would look like on me with my little tops, right? I love it. Love it, love it, love it. We'll make that this summer. We'll get some lace, and I don't even know. I've never used lace, so who knows? I'm trying to think. Wasn't there another? There was a Boo. What pattern is the carved pullover by Emily Haver? $5.50. Super cute for Halloween. Although you're probably not gonna have time to make it now. Did you make one of these? Cropped raglan sweater with 3/4 length sleeves, work top down in the round. Mostly stockinette with lace work in the front to mimic a jack-o'-lantern. It's in sizes 32 to 64 inches, which is 81 to 162 centimeters, 0 to 4 inches. Positive ease recommended. Gauge is 24 stitches and 34 rounds for 4 inches. Shoes Knit Pick Swish DK, which is going to make this quite an affordable sweater. That is really cute. I would make it in black. It's a lot of orange. Oh my God, look at this person. Look at that red hair and the black sweater. Oh my God, I love it. Love it. That's super cute. Low-key Halloween. I feel like this entire year has just sped by. Like the last I swear to God, it was like 2018, and then I don't know what happened. It was like the new year came, 2019, and then we slipped into a black hole or something. I don't know what happened, because now it's 2022. It's almost 2023, you guys. It's almost 2023. And it was like just 2018. I don't know what happened. Right? I don't know what happened. The year's almost done. Like, it was just, I feel like everything's going by too fast. I wonder if that's like just from being as old as I am, or from never leaving my house. Because you think if you never left your house, you think the time would pass slowly, right? Because every day's the same. Because literally for me, every day's the same. So you think everything would be slow. Because the only difference I really see is out my window that I look at every day. Like, well, that's the cherry tree. Those will drop. That's the oak. You can't see the oak. Over here, that's the oak that's turning right now. Cherry tree. That, I don't know what this tree is, because that's actually my neighbor's tree in our yard. Because the next tree is a fir, is a pine tree. So that doesn't do anything. And then my favorite tree, which I don't know what it is, but it's actually two trees growing together, is my absolute favorite tree. I'll try to find a picture, and because right now the top tree, it's two trees like wound together, and I want to bring this tree with us, but it's too big. I can't bring it with us. And there is on my neighbor's side of the fence, there is a little tree growing, and I desperately want to dig it up and put it in a pot so I can take it with us. And I'm sure he would let me if I asked him. But it's those two trees together that I love so much, and I'm pretty sure that the next homeowners are going to cut it down. And I desperately want to bring it. They just grew together. So the top tree is red, and then the bottom tree is still green and yellow. So it's like they're turning at two different. I absolutely love those trees. I'm going to miss them. So I'm trying to like not think that they're not going to be here after we move. Because I don't think you can take trees across county lines. I don't think you can. And that one's so big, we would have to like. That's not something we could do ourselves. It's very big now. It was not so big when we first moved in. It was a very, very tiny tree, and I was like, look at that cute little tree, and now it's huge. But it doesn't have seeds on it. I could probably figure out what kind of tree it was so I could have another one. I'd really love to have it as like a bonsai though, so it could stay little forever and just go through the. Oh my God, wouldn't that be adorable if it was a bonsai? I was reading you could make any tree a bonsai tree, that any tree could grow small like that. It's so cute, I'm dying. Oh, it's so cute. But I'm trying to say, it doesn't have seeds on it, so I don't know how it makes other trees. There's just leaves, there's no flowers. What's he saying? It doesn't have seeds, so I don't know. Like, I want to at least have, some seeds to bring with us, and it's like a plant a new one. I desperately want a part of this tree to come with me. I gotta figure out how to do that. Anyway, shall we talk about, I keep wanting to say shawlography because Twists and Turns just does not have the same mouthfeel as shawlography and MKAL. So I'm trying to just say MKAL. So shall we get into this? Because this is going to go up Friday. So by this time, Clue 2 has already been out. So this isn't going to be any type of spoiler. But again, if you don't want to, if you don't care, then you don't care, whatever. So, okay. You guys are doing this, right? So, I absolutely hate Clue 1. I hate it so much. I don't hate how it looks. I don't hate how it looks at all. I think it looks really cool. I hate that it takes me 40 minutes to do half of a repeat. And you guys, I don't know if when you do an MKAL, you're reading the pattern right in the MKAL, you don't skip ahead, right? I don't skip ahead because it's an MKAL. You don't skip ahead. So what I found out was that I should have, because on the last page of clue 1, it's got all the stitch counts, which I was like, where are the stitch counts this whole time? I could not find the stitch counts. And I didn't think to go forward in the pattern because it was a mystery knit along. I didn't want to go forward and, until I was there. And then I got frustrated and I was like, oh my God, here are all the stitch counts. So what I did as I was going is I made sure, well, obviously, the parts with the, whatever this is, the loops, don't change. Those stay the same. So all I made sure throughout was that both ends matched at the end of each repeat, that the stitch counts of both ends matched, and that all the other chevron sections matched. And how I did that was I took the middle stitch and I made sure both, on both sides matched. So if I had an extra stitch on one side, the following row, which is where you increase everything, I would just not increase that side. So I made sure that these all matched and the ends matched, but I didn't have an actual count for anything because I followed along with the video and counted there, but then I don't remember him giving us any type of stitch count, and then I hadn't seen it until literally, I think, like today's Wednesday, like Tuesday, like yesterday, I saw the stitch counts because I'm on 10, 11, 12, 13. I'm on my 13th one, which this is my last actual repeat. Okay. And we're supposed to end with 200, and I will end with 192. So I need to add in 8 stitches somewhere. So what I think I'm going to do is, because there are 4 chevron sections, I think what I'm going to do on the last, not this repeat, but the last, that's not a full repeat, your 14th stripe, on that black one, the very last row, I am going to, when you do this part and you're supposed to do the decrease here, I'm not going to do that decrease. So that'll give me an extra 8 stitches, even though he said that the stitch count isn't important. To me. And I mean, I don't think it's gonna make that big of a difference size wise. And I was considering doing an extra repeat and then being 2 over, because I'd rather be 2 over than 8 under. And I thought that would be okay because these edges are finished with an I-cord. So we're not going to be working off these because they're finished. So I'm like, if I had an extra 2 stripes, it probably wouldn't matter. But I'd rather just put them in right at the end, because I don't think you're going to notice it at all. But I want to have, I don't know if we're going to be working off that I-cord bind off. And if we are, would 8 stitches matter? I don't know. But I'd like to not make, I can't find any, I mean, all of my things increase. So I don't know, like you can see all of the increases. So I don't know, my first one must have been wrong. And with how much I hated this, I'm not going back to redo it. It took too long. So I've got I got to finish the other half of repeat. So 40 minutes to finish the black, and then another silver, and then the final black, and then the I-cord bind. And then I'll be ready for tomorrow, which is actually yesterday. This took up so much time. Oh my God. And I still don't have it down. I still have to refer back to the pattern. And a lot of my problem with that is that I'm using Knit Companion. So that's on iPads, and I don't actually have an iPad. But my husband has 2 iPads, so during the day I use this big one. And it does not hold the charge the whole day. So during the day I use this one, and at night I use the little mini. So I have to go between 2. And I still would rather be on paper so that I can make notes and just jot down. So for doing my stitch counts, I've been using the calculator. I think it's here. Here's my calculator of my stitch counts. It's just ridiculous. So, because it's the only way I could put them in, and then it adds it up for me, and I can tell how many stitches I have, which is actually a really smart way if you think about it. Anyway, I absolutely love my colors. I love how they're working out. I guess you can kind of see the tonalness. What have we decided what word that is? Is it going to be tonal? Tonality. So it's not just, flat color. See, it's a little bit whiteness, a little lighter bits. I don't think I see so many in the black, but oh my God, when we started and he was like, take your main color and do an I-cord of, I forget how many. I was like, my main color is black and you want me to make an I-cord that I then have to go through and count the stitches? You're out of your mind. So I was a little upset about that. But that ended up not being the worst part. And then I thought the I-cord bind off's going to be the worst part. I'm still not convinced it's not going to be, but pretty sure this whole thing. If this was my first MKAL, I probably would have given up. But I know that I'm really going to like this, and it's going to be, I know I'm really going to like this, and I'm going to have a lot of fun. And if I can just get past this first bit, oh my gosh, is everyone else having trouble with this? You're like, oh my God, right? I'm like, this is a big clue to start us off with. That's a lot of work in a week. I've been working nonstop and I'm still not done. I'm hoping I can get it done in time. How long is this he always does this. He always does the I-cord sides and the I-cord bind off, and I hate it so much every time. I absolutely hate doing I-cord sides because they don't stretch at all. They don't stretch. I hate it so much. This is not stretching at all. No stretch. I can stretch this, but that side is not going to stretch along with my work. I hate I-cord sides. I hate I-cord bind-offs. I hate them so much. And he uses them every time. And I feel like it limits how big I can get my shawl to be. It just limits it. And it looks like crap. Looks like crap for me every time. I think it's my tension. I know he does it to give you a nice, easy edge. Which is a great idea, but I just hate it so much because mine never look right. And I know from my I-cord bind off, I'm already going to have to go up a whole size, probably 2 sizes. What is this, a 3-5? I'd use a 4. I might use a 4 or 4-5. I'm not even kidding you. I'm not even kidding you because mine are so tight. I did the night shift. And my bind off was absolutely ridiculous. I had to pull it out and do a bigger size because it was scrunching in my project. So I know I have to do that. Okay, so next week we will be planning winter projects because November actually starts my winter knitting. Winter is November, December, and January. Spring is February, March, April. May, June, July is summer. and then August, September, October is fall. So we're already going into winter projects. I know one thing that changed from before. So that will be next week's episode. Okay, I think we're just going to have a short episode because I want to get Clue 1 finished so I can get ready for Clue 2. I just saw the thing that he said to get your accent color ready and your cable needles. I have my cable needles. Did I show them to you? I got the little spiral ones because I had the other ones and they've always fall off, so I got the spiral ones hoping they will stay on. Yeah, I really want to get this done and get it, I'm debating on whether I want to block it before. It looks like some people blocked it. How did they get done so fast? Really? How did they get done so? I must not be doing a good job. Anyway, I'm sure I have plenty of ridiculousness to make a full episode, so I'm going to end it here and finish Clue 1 so I can be ready tomorrow. Come back next week for planning winter projects, which is going to be super fun. And I'm already I can think of one project that I'm switching that will be a winter project. And I'm looking forward to that one. That might be the first one we do, actually. That might be the first November cast on. Anyway, everything counts on getting this shawl done on time. I really would like to get it done on time so we can get back to work in November. I'm already can we get back to normalness? 3 more clues to go. So how are you doing? Did you finish on time? I gotta finish on time. I gotta get back to this. Okay, so I'll see you next week for that. Take care of yourselves. Goodbye.